So, okay, kind of introduce yourself. Like, how long you been playing the game? What heroes do you enjoy, etc., etc.
Probably like a year and a half, I think I've been playing.
Okay.
I play most of the supports, but Mercy is my favorite.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So, good hero Mercy is. It's been through a lot of ups and downs with Goats meta and Moth meta, and so there doesn't seem to be a meta where she's middle of the road until recently, and so now she's never really a bad pick. So, in this VOD, I assume you were on. Yep, you're on Team Blue, and this is Mercy. So, oh, that's a nice little flop there. Okay, so kind of tell me what things you go into, like in normal Mercy game, you go into the game. What are you thinking about? Are you actively training anything, or are you just kind of coasting right now and just kind of remaining the same? What are you thinking about, if anything?
Well, I guess before I even pick Mercy, I kind of depend on the tank line. If it
Okay.
was Reinzar, which it is later, I
Mm-hmm.
picked Ana,
Mm-hmm.
but because we were Orisa Hog, I just went with Mercy, and we had
Okay.
Zen already, so
Right. So what about Orisa Hog leads you to picking Mercy? What about that matchup makes Mercy more attractive to you?
I just like her damage boost with the pull hook
Yeah.
is very nice.
Okay. Yeah, and definitely in more of a static compositional
Yeah,
style, Resurrect is more attractive as well because it's less likely the team is going to mobilize on you and prevent you from getting that Resurrect opportunity. And generally, you're running with more static, higher DPS heroes. So I'm going to see what we roll out on. So we open, we do the little Lucio swap there. Nice little super jump. We do the Lucio swap to get the speed boost out from spawn. Just in case you guys didn't know, the amp speed, swap to Mercy, and then you can Guardian Angel catch up. So this is the comp we're running. We are running bunker line tanks, which you kind of already said. Looking at this, who do you think your default damage boost is going to be on? And then are there any other damage boost situations that you see you might swap targets to? Maybe my Orisa, my Zen, my Genji. What situations are you going to look at here in terms of damage boost?
I thought McCree and Hog are like the primary damage boost,
Okay.
mostly McCree.
Why?
But I do damage boost just because he does a lot of long range
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the highest damage potential.
Consistently, too. Right. Okay. And then, are there any instances in which you would damage boost somebody else?
I feel like none of them are really a bad choice
Mm-hmm.
to damage boost. They're all pretty good. They do consistent damage. Genji, I damage boost to build Blade or try to build it fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I might look at this and go, hey, I'm gonna damage boost my Zen or on a corner if he's gonna get a right click, but that's not. I'm gonna damage boost my Genji when he's actually blading. I'll damage, maybe try and damage boost my Hog when he lands a hook. If we're going for pull hook, I'll swap from my McCree to the Hog because the instance of damage there is higher than even a McCree headshot. So yeah, you've got options here. Defaulting to McCree, I think, is the correct choice here. In terms of positioning, what kind of position? What does positioning look like for you in the Orisa Hog matchup generally? Like ignoring the enemy team composition, let's assume we're in a mirror. How do you want to position yourself? Very basically.
Behind the shield, but behind Orisa and Hog as well.
Right. Why? Just so chat can understand.
Just it's probably like the safest. Kind of next to Zen as well, though I can pocket him if they run flankers, which they're not.
Yep.
But
Yep. No, I get you. Yes, being aware of your Zen's positioning, that's always good. Your other squishy. Another thing you have to watch for is halt. So if they're running an Orisa as well, you'd want to make sure that you're not in a range or in a position to where you could get halted. So max beam range. Okay, so we're definitely off on a good foot here. We will see how we're due. So. So your team wants to rotate to point. Defaulting to Orisa early on. Orisa fortifies late, and she is gone! That didn't take long. Unlucky indeed. So, let's see here. Again, turning around this corner, like, it's a minor thing, but, you know, Orisa's... We're prioritizing Orisa here, which is fine, because she's first around the corner. Okay. So then on our Hog, back to our McCree. Okay, so I'm noticing something with your habits, with your gameplay so far, and I want you to tell me what it is. Look at your Guardian Angel usage. It's not a terrible thing, but it's something that we're going to keep an eye on for the rest of this VOD. Okay, so the very first or I guess, second Guardian Angel. Okay, right here, and the third, boom. What does that Guardian Angel really do? Not all that much, right?
Yeah.
Not 100%, not 100% necessary. Not a bad thing, but not 100% necessary. Okay. Okay. That one's fine. This one is the one I'm a little bit concerned about. At least the range with which you go. Again, that Guardian Angel there is the real troubling one. So we're skipping back 10 seconds at a time, unfortunately. So your positioning here is fine, and this Guardian Angel is fine too, maybe a little bit too far. But it's things like this right here. This is what concerns me. Do you see what I'm saying? You use your cooldown,
yeah.
but you don't actually go anywhere. So if you don't want to go anywhere, don't use the cooldown. Because the 2 seconds is always longer than it feels like when you're actually in an engagement. So this, if that's what we wanted to do, obviously that needs to be executed. You need to go from here to here. Was it just a messed up cooldown usage, or did you just push it without thinking? Do you remember?
Not entirely.
Okay. Because that would be something to look at. This is fine. Unfortunate. Good res. I assume you're calling out res. Obviously, the problem with replays is you don't hear stuff like that, but it is a crucially good cancel there. Good little movement here. Okay, let's look at this again. So you're doing a lot of seesaw back and forth, which is necessary to avoid damage when you are being pressured. But if your target is the one being pressured, like for example right now, you don't need to seesaw across here. So you get the res. The enemy team is on this side. You then obviously traverse across to the other side. This is fine. You do not need to move here. All you need to do is walk forward so that your beam doesn't break to here, and then maintain the beam. All you do by traversing this distance is you put yourself at the risk of more damage, and you remove the cooldown that you might need to escape. So if this Lucio turns around and shoots at you, you still have your Guardian Angel. But if you Guardian Angel across here, and then they're all brawling here, you're going to have to sit there and take it for 2 seconds. So this doesn't do anything for you. This is meaningless. This is not safer, and it's using a cooldown. Do you see how awkward this feels right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so it does feel like we're using our Guardian Angel occasionally when there isn't really any real motivation to use so. Whoa, no. Unlucky. I don't think it would have mattered. I think this fight is just about lost, but I'm going to look at this one more time. Yeah, so... I'm going to have to look at this one more time. So, like, again, here, do you need to Guardian Angel here?
No.
No, you don't. Your beam is obviously reaching the range where it might break, but you know that there's the grace period before it breaks, first off. And then second off, like, if you had walked forward a couple of steps, you wouldn't have needed to use Guardian Angel at all, which would have meant that this whole situation here wouldn't have happened, because you don't want to be here. You want to be here while your Zen peaks here, yes? So putting yourself in using your Guardian Angel unnecessarily, and then using it to put yourself in a bad spot, which is just the cherry on top, it kills you. Now, is the fight winnable? Probably not. But obviously, that sort of mistake might not be meaningful in this fight, but it will be meaningful in others. So again, we're seeing Guardian Angel just kind of being tossed willy-nilly, and it's putting you in situations where you're either in a bad spot, or you don't have an escape cooldown because you just used it 1 second ago when you didn't need it. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
All right. This situation, let's see here. I'm also not a huge fan of standing in chokes either. Like, it's okay to let your damage... If your Genji's in a spot to where you can't pocket him without taking damage, you can just... Don't pocket him. Let him... He's a lot harder to hit than you are, so in that situation, sometimes better to just let him go. This is fine, though, because obviously you have a shield and you have a corner now. Okay, so before we use Valk, What is your general philosophy for using Valk? If you go into a game ignoring the circumstances, what are you doing to use Valk? Or what are the what are you waiting for before you use Valk?
I guess it kind of a few different things. If we have Blade, I'll try to save it for Blade,
Why?
or just the damage boost. You can two-shot squishies.
Yeah, yeah, but why?
The
But
flash dash.
why would you Valk? Because you can still damage boost without Valk, right? So what about Blade?
Well, gives Mercy increased mobility to go with the Genji.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So you don't feed trying to damage boost your Genji in the middle of the enemy backline. Correct. Very nice. Okay. Anything else? So you're looking to go when your team goes in aggressively. What if you don't have a Genji? What if you don't have an ult that you can combo it with?
Well, I found that if you're up one or down one, using Valk can sometimes switch the tide in your favor or just keep the fight going.
I always look at Valk as like the perfect example of the tempo ult. Like the fight has started, you now Valk, that basically triples or even quadruples your effectiveness, right? Because you're pocketing every single hero in the game. Now obviously, you know, you might have to turn off the damage boost to heal, but it just triples your effectiveness for a short period of time, and that is significantly underrated, right? That is incredibly underrated. And it makes you impossible to kill as well, so you can't turn off that support. So I look at it kind of like in the way that you were thinking about my Genji initiates, I'm going to Valk. Any initiation should trigger a Valk. It's not a hugely valuable ult, and just simply using the ult to win a fight is great. And remember, if you've been part of the stream for a while, I'm a huge fan of using ults as tempo. Early in the fight. Don't counter, be proactive. So Valk is a good example of an ult that works well in that situation. So I could feel your body language here. You're ready to Valk. There's the heal. Damage boost. Let me look at this again. It really irritates me that Q skips about 10 seconds and not 5. Okay. So positioning-wise, we're fine. We're in a corner. We have an escape route in our vision, which is very important. We Guardian Angel out to follow him. That's good. So now we're trancing, so now it's... damage boost is useful, but we're all frozen, so it doesn't really matter. You could probably try for the res here. And the only reason I say that is... Well, let me see what happens here.
Yeah, I was going to go for it, but we lost a couple more, so...
Right, so it's like it's no longer realistic for you to be able to get value out of that. Blizzard is such a strong ult if everybody's caught in it. Yeah, so fine decision there. We set our team up for success. Just didn't happen now. That's all. And that's how it is. Like, and I think Mercy is one of those heroes where it can feel like your impact is really low. Like I did everything I could, but the reality of the situation is Mercy is basically as impactful as any hero. It's just not always obvious where you choked, where you messed up. I used to be a big tank main, and I would have conversations with other tanks like, I don't know what my team I do. My team just won't push in me, and they're making some mistakes that aren't obvious to them, right? And the same thing goes with Mercy. But looking at that fight realistically, I think that was fine. I think it was fine. The previous fight, however, no, we threw that fight. Okay, again, the question comes up, and it's going to be a consistent theme. Wait for it. Okay. Do you need Guardian Angel here?
No.
Should you ever Guardian Angel here?
Probably not.
No, you shouldn't, because it's going to put... I mean, even if you cancel it early, which you will, like, and you cancel it here, you're still in the choke. You're still in LOS, and you could sit here and be 10 times safer, and if for whatever reason somebody, like, all-end you would still have your defensive cooldown available. Instead, you Guardian Angel here, this does nothing. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't help you heal the target more. This does it safer. And again, I know it's only 2 seconds, but I'm sure you've had situations where you're sitting at it, looking at 1 second, you're like, crap, and then you die, right? Where you wish you had it. Yeah. And it's not likely to happen in this composition, but what if they're running a Genji? What if they're running a Tracer? They're on you immediately, and every second that you can move away is crucial. So this is not good. Like, again, why? You see what I'm saying? Like, what advantage does this... I'm going to see if I can do it without clicking the arrow. Oh, nice. Look at that. Much more accurate. I'm going to have to be precise with my clicks here. Okay, so looking at the situation, why would you do this? Right? Is this safer?
I did it to get out of the way of the shatter, which someone called it. He was gonna walk through Orissa's shield.
Oh, see, this is where, okay, that makes sense then. Okay, so you do it to avoid shatter, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So in that situation, does it make sense?
In that one, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yee! I'm going to look at this again. Come on now, Q. Come on now, Q. Okay, so you basically ping-pong to the other side. And looking at the situation here, what are you doing here? Are you seesawing to assist your McCree, I assume? Right here?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest here, you just told me you came over here to avoid the shatter, and then somebody takes a little bit of chip damage, and then you put yourself back in distance of the shatter again. So,
Yep.
seems like we're getting conflicting messages here. So, I obviously you were trying to avoid the shatter, but that quickly passed out of your mind the second you're like, I mean, that's like inches away from connecting. Okay. And again, I'm gonna drive you nuts, but that's my job. Like, right here. Why?
Well,
Right?
when I first started playing Mercy, I just got advice to use G on cooldown, which, thinking back, is probably not the best.
No, it's not. But that's okay. So now, but what you've done is we have spotted a habit that probably has gotten you killed a lot of times. I mean, we have watched what, 3 team fights, and it's lost you a team fight, 1 out of 3 team fights. And even if it's like, let's say 1 out of 5 team fights or 1 out of 7 team fights are lost because you screw up your Guardian Angel usage, that is really significant. That is huge. That could be the difference between 50, 100, 150 SR, right?
Yep.
So at least we've spotted the habit. And now, later on, we could talk about how we correct it. So, okay. Big thing there was really just your positioning. Your Guardian Angel usage means that you're without a cooldown a lot of times, and it puts you in worse spots. So you seem like you know decent positioning, obviously, you're GM. But then you just use your Guardian Angel for no particular reason, and then it puts you in a bad spot. So it's like the fact that you're consistently mashing shift throws you in a bad spot where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, and then no Lucio's speed boost. Shaking my head.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Okay, composition's changed here. You're still prioritizing McCree. Just so chat can understand and so I can hear you say it, why aren't you damage boosted? Why do you prioritize McCree over Soldier? What is it about that hero setup? Think about it.
I've just been staying closer to McCree. His flash is the utility to keep people off of the back line, and Soldier's kind of more of a flanker than a McCree in this setting.
That's the answer I was looking for. Is you have a hero with mobility that's going to want to go wherever he wants to go, and you have a hero with not only slightly higher damage, but who's probably going to play closer to the core. And remember, this is a symbiotic relationship. In other words, you're going to damage boost him, and then what you said, he's going to flashbang for you. And that's what, I mean, what is Soldier gonna do? He might heal station, but a lot of time flashbang is better to defend you. You don't necessarily need more healing, you need the threat of kills. And McCree is gonna be better at doing that. In addition, McCree's positioning is generally going to be closer to his tanks, which when you're running a Zenyatta, you do want to play a little bit closer to your tanks because it's not like you're running an Ana Mercy or a Moira Mercy where you could just pocket your DPS. You will have to heal up your tanks every now and then. So being closer to the core is going to be beneficial here. Okay. No, I am not a Mercy main. I have, I think, 8 or 10 hours in Mercy, something like that. Not many. Okay, so talk to me through this. Is this just you being lazy? Is there a specific reason why we're doing this that I'm missing? Because this is your Orisa, probably one of the lowest value damage boosted targets in the game.
Well, I wasn't necessarily pocketing McCree. I was just kind of switching damage boost between a few of them.
Okay. Okay. Any rhyme or reason, or just kind of tootling around?
I guess just to see what we could get out of it.
Okay, because
Orisa was calling for a damage boost. They were gonna try to pull hook. I don't think it worked here.
Okay, so Orisa was calling for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could find their value in keeping your teammates happy, but you know, it's obviously not great. And even if you are pull hooking, you want it on your hog,
Yeah.
not your Orisa. So again, like, I don't have access to comms here. So if the call was being made, whatever, fine. You know, listen to the man trying to take control of things, or the lady. But in this instance, again, it's still the Kree who's going to be higher value, or at least the Hog. I mean, Zin is legitimately a better damage booster target than Orisa. He's probably one of the better ones out there, but definitely not the Orisa here. So again, I'm not going to judge you for it, because if he was asking for it, I understand the circumstances. But okay, and again, what do you see here? Look at your shift. Wink, nothing. Yoink, nothing. You see that?
Yep.
It's a small thing, and again, is it going to get punished right now? Nope. Did it get punished earlier? Yep. And especially in a meta where or in simply fights where there are more mobile heroes, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you bad. Again, still like. Okay, that's fine. Your soldier's playing in the same sight lane. That's unfortunate. This would be a super jump. I don't know if you can super jump over this wall. Might be worth a shot.
I don't think you can because of the awning up there.
Okay. That would be something I would look into in this meta in particular, because Mei is so common. I would practice my super jumping in this instances. Obviously, it's a little bit dangerous with McCree, because putting yourself in that sight line is a risk, but I would definitely practice it, because getting on top of the wall here would be hugely valuable, because even if the McCree like shoots you and you have to drop, that beam, as you know, is still going to be connected for a second or so, which would be useful. That would be something that I would try. Maybe you can't do it here because of the wall, but I don't even think you try. So that would be something I would look into. You do get it through there though, so that's cool. Okay. Healing your Hog. I would always keep Hog at 2/3, never heal him more than that. It's kind of unnecessary. Lots of Guardian Angel usage, though. Lots and lots of it. And you're seeing it again and again. It is clearly a habit for you. Like right now, still healing our... Okay. Healing our Hog. Yeah. And if he's got, and like another thing you can watch too is Harmony Orb placement, just a small thing. If you see Harmony Orb in somebody and they're not critical, don't heal them. You don't need to. The Zenyatta really doesn't want to have to cycle Harmony Orb, so he'll just leave it on him. And then you can just, that will allow you to get another damage boost for another 1 or 2 seconds. Makes things, like, reduce it, like, think of it this way, like the less chip healing you have to do, the better. Right? Because that's more time spent on the right click. So if you see a target with Harmony Orb and that target isn't in danger and isn't critical, just prioritize the right click. So like here, like it's a Hog, he's fine. You know, it's not crucial right now. This is the situation where your McCree might get 2 headshots, but it's only going to be a kill if he gets a damage boost. So min-maxing things here. That's going to be the big thing with Mercy. You don't always feel your impact, but making the right decisions at the right time, it's important. Okay, so right click. Now we're damage boosting. Valkyrie is fine. Matching their Valk, I think. Yep. Damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. Juicy. Very nice. That Rhine shield is looking ugly. That's good. Back to damage boost here. Oh, he's getting frozen. You could probably... no, I don't think you can go for that res. Oh, bless. What was that? He's scaring me now. The timing of the Valk was good. I definitely don't like your positioning with it. So I don't like you coming across this way. I would prefer you to wrap around this way. But that's okay. I understand you know, Arisa's in danger here. But hovering here is not good. You need to be playing Pillar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Playing Pillar makes more sense. And you don't, and really being far away isn't safer here either, because being far away just kind of opens up their sightlines to you, kind of like this, right? So being closer means their sightlines are going to be short and you can cut them off. So if you were hiding here, they couldn't see you at all. And that's kind of what you want, rather than playing out here where they can actually see you from all the way back here. Not likely that they're going to kill you, but something you still have to think about. Damage boost good. Like this right here, like why on earth are you here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So it's something to think about. Okay, can't really help that. I would, you know, the res there would be possible if their core wasn't there. You know, their core is there, so that's not realistic. You're not going to be able to get that. And again, here, is this a good position right now? First off, we'll just start with that. Is this a good position right now?
It's not awful, but probably not the best.
Okay, it's fine, right? It's fine. I would have to, like let's put it this way. I would have to think for a good 20 seconds, and that's a lot of effort for me to think of a better positioning. So that's good enough, right? So then, is this a good position?
No.
No, we have downgraded. We have fallen down the stairs of quality positioning, and yeah, that's concerning. And you actually move in towards the enemy team, and that is obviously problematic. So yeah, positioning there was not great. Trancing the res, unfortunate. We get booped. Run! You got out, nice. Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, positioning there was rugged, and we're still seeing a lot of heavy Guardian Angel usage that is problematic, and we actually saw there more so than the other times. Not enough damage boosting, right? Especially in those poke phases. Like, you're gonna have plenty of time to yield chip damage. Your Roadhog's gonna have vape and use it for free. You've got Harmony Orb to throw around. Like, you need that. If you want to actually have an opportunity to get a pick, use it on your targets there. Use it on your damage dealing targets. Now, when you're in Valkyrie, it was pretty good. Not before that, though. Again, like, what's wrong here?
Probably doesn't need it.
Yeah,
Hanzo would be a better.
Yeah, your Hog's damage boosted at this range is going to do about 5 damage per shot, right? So he's not going to do anything. Whereas your Hanzo, your McCree, I mean, even if this was a soldier like he was a second ago, it's more useful. There's a higher chance of getting picks, or, you know, building that Dragon Strike based off of that. And the thing is too, is like, you have to understand that damage boost is, last I calculated, so I did some thinking about this, and I looked into Overwatch Wiki. And chat, if you have any information on this, I would love for you to chime in. I'm pretty sure that damage boost is free ult charge. I'm not 100% sure. So in other words, you do damage. I don't know why I'm writing a B. That's the wrong letter. Damage, right? And then you heal damage. The question is, chat, for like, if this 120 or 125 damage boosted shot, when it gets boosted, so that would be 162.5, so 163 damage. Does the Hanzo get credit for all 163 of the damage, or does he only get credit for his 125 portion? Consistently, I'm getting more ult charge for the damage done. It's not the same. So it is fully... Okay, so now we know, chat. So, all right, that's all. I think that's all. Thank you. It is free ult charge. It is absolutely free ult charge. I'm going to fix my... Let's see here. That should work. And, okay, we're good. Okay, so it's free ult charge. So in this instance, going back to Q, whenever you damage boost a target that does damage, they get the ult charge from the boost, the extra little bit of damage they do. They get that counts towards their ult, and you get free ult charge as well. So, free real estate. Exactly, chat. Okay, anyway. Right, that's why Mercy's good for spawn dynamites? Yeah. Okay. So again, yes. A lot of Guardian Angel usage, though. We're still seeing that. Good. Oof, we needed to be there. Like, this is what I like. This is like what Mercy's good at. Like the pocketing your DPS in the off angle without feeding. It's huge. So, lots and lots of Guardian Angel usage. You're seeing this, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Find that Hanzo. Hanzo's going to be your best threat here because, one, you know, well, why is Hanzo going to be your best damage target here? Why is he better than McCree here?
He does more damage to body shot.
Yeah, he does more damage, and he doesn't have fall off at this range. So if you're not dealing with fall off, then go with a non fall off hero, right? In close ranges, the McCree is probably better, but Hanzo's gonna be better here. like I said, right there, chip damage on your hog, meh. And like continuing to heal, yeah, like not my fan. Not a fan. And I'm being nitpicky, obviously, because you are GM, and because you're going to need to clean these little things up to improve. It's not going to be, oh, your reses are feeding, and you need to position yourself way, way better. Like, there are obviously some micro-positioning things we're talking about, and specifically to do with your Guardian Angels, but it is going to be little things like this, like the fact that this little thing right here, to where you're healing chip damage on your hog, you know, this is fine. You're stuck there. Healing chip damage on your hog who's in the act of vaping, right? Little things like this are going to add up. A little bit by little bit. And you have to be, you got to keep yourself in check. You got to keep yourself on target and be like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I know I shouldn't, so I'm not going to do it. Again, chip damage. And again, that target now also has Harmony Orb now too, so it's a double waste. Still using a lot of Guardian Angel. Not that I would expect any differently. Not the end of the world. Hope you called that res. Unlucky.
Yeah, we called to trance res, but I died.
Let's see here. Okay, so you were ahead of your trance. Yeah. It's impossible for me to know whose fault this was without having access to comms. So I'm going to assume it wasn't your fault. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I'm not spending a lot of time, chat, on comms, although that's always the next thing I talk about with Mercies is communication and ult tracking and things like that. But I'm gonna let it go for now because again, there's other errors that I'm seeing, and particularly with you because we don't have access to a your communication. It'd be like guessing, and I don't want to guess. So just because. Once more, yoink, Guardian Angel, this kind of stuff. Don't like it.
Yep.
Don't like that. It will, and especially like, and we saw it actually when you were defending here. I was too busy on my rant about damage boosting to say anything about it. But you would be like here, or you would be here, and you kept getting pulled. You kept Guardian Angeling into the middle, and you would like narrowly missed fire strikes. You narrowly missed like Zarya right clicks and stuff like that. It's like. It's like somebody's pulling you in towards the damage again and again. And the same thing applies here. Like you talked about how you want to be healing your tanks, kind of be in the back, but you don't want to be on your tanks. You say that.
Yep.
And then when we actually get into the fight, you're fine, right? In towards my tanks, on top of my tanks. And on top of my tanks again. And on top of like not quite there, like you cancel it, but you're like this is ridiculous. Look at this Guardian Angel right here. You actually press the button and immediately cancel it. Like it's like you're telling yourself, no, I don't want to be in there, but your body's like, I must press the button. In I go. In. Like, no, stop, please don't do this. Because like the question is again, if this is such a bad habit for you. And this happens every game, not just this game. What happens if there's a Sombra on the enemy team and she sees you doing this? Or a Tracer. Sombra decloaks right now, you're not going anywhere for 10 seconds or 2 seconds. Yeah. Right? You're not going anywhere. You can't cancel and hide out here. You can't, I mean, even if you wanted to, you couldn't fly all the way over here. It's gone. Right? So. Yep. Okay. And it's going to be especially important. Ooh, sneaky. I like it. Oh, I don't like that. Do not like that. It's going to be especially important in the Orisa Hog meta that we see a lot in the ladder now is because, like we talked about earlier, if you're within halt range, which is going to be near your tanks, you're going to get pulled and you're going to get killed. So that is extremely concerning in this meta. It's bad enough with dive. It's even worse when there's a halt hook, where there's like a guaranteed elimination every 8 or 10 seconds, and every 2 seconds, you're mashing your movement ability in towards the enemy team. Was there a reason for Orb and Hog at the start of the fight? I don't know. This isn't a Zen coaching. Probably not. Okay. So, big things here that we've seen consistently throughout the last 2 rounds. Number 1, and the most important one, is your Guardian Angel usage. I don't have to coach you how to use Guardian Angel, right? You showed me with your movement. You can super jump. You're doing the rubber band stuff where you have a target here and a target there. Somebody chases you here, so you Guardian Angel all the way to the other side by using your jump cancel. You know your stuff, right? You've clearly got a lot of hours in the hero. Problem is the frequency with which you press the button in situations where it makes 0 sense. In fact, It's not just wasting it, you're actually putting yourself in a worse position than you were momentarily ago, right?
Yep.
And then I always like to leave the second thing to you, at least when we do the voice stuff. You watched the stream, or you watched the queue. What would you say would be a secondary thing, maybe a minor thing that you could be thinking about or looking into?
Oh, the pocketing the DPS.
The pocket.
More damage.
Yep. And that's going to be especially the case. So in this instance, it was actually less of an issue than it would have been because you had a Zenyatta. So you were forced to heal your tanks occasionally, and that's the necessary evil, right? But if you're going Ana Mercy, Moira Mercy, Baptiste Mercy, ooh boy, you hardly ever heal. You only heal your other healer, basically. That's the only situation. So in that situation, especially in those situations when you're running it with another primary healer, pocket, and actively think about who needs a pocket right now. You did it with the Blade, do it with the Deadeye. Do it at the range differences with the Hanzo long range, McCree short range. Do it with the instances or cooldown usages like Halt Hook or Reinhardt Fire Strike, things like that. And you're going to see like your ult charge bump up, and like we said, it's free real estate, right? And you're going to get eliminations. You're going to get eliminations that would not have happened otherwise. Because you could look at this and say, hey, maybe there were like 2 or 3 elims that were mine that wouldn't have happened without damage boost. And maybe those 2 or 3 eliminations were spread across 2 fights, and we won 2 fights because I pressed right click. So it's not even ult charge at that point. It's the eliminations. In addition, if you're the team that's doing more damage, if you damage boost your Hanzo Stormbow and it breaks the Rhine shield because of the damage boost, that team's not going to be pushing for 5 or 6 seconds. So you just bought your team another 7 to 8% in the control meter, right? So there's all these like little tiny things that damage boost will get that you won't always notice unless you actually study the situation. So, do you have any questions, Jace?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Okay. Looked good. We know what to work on, and good luck working on them, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep,
you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Cheers.